Brazil, South Africa, Russia, India and China are in big tariff threat, including other 68 countries, including Bangladesh as well. My question is, do you think this will disrupt the entire economic relationship with Trump's 2.0, which will put the Americans themselves into trouble in future?
Thank you for your question. Actually, it carries a huge significance. We've seen the nations that you just mentioned, they are of the alliance of the BRICS nations, something that has had the Americans very scared. Why I tell you this? The natural course of an economy and its growth is now going to be hampered by such a tariff package with almost one-third of the entire global country population. And not only so, we see that the Texas House moves to allow civil arrests, warrants for Democrats who fled state. What Mr. Norman was elaborating on, which really shows that the Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, is now silencing dissent or silencing the opposition Democratic Party in America. And not only so, this tariff package for 2025 and the outlook for America's market growth in the coming days may be hampered because of all these nations that have feared a tariff. They might now look forward to solutions which reduce their dependency on the greenback, the United States dollar. Of course, one of those countries, and I mentioned earlier on this show, how India had said that it's a matter of national interest in how we conduct business in crude with Russia. And of course, Russia has been in a long escalation in Ukraine, trying to claim back something that had belonged to them before Ukraine found independence. Of course, at this moment, the entire world remains volatile. And of course, America has a voice on all the major issues that pertains to our planet as well.
How crucial is diplomacy at this juncture, and what are the realistic prospects for a negotiated solution in Ukraine with Russia?
Thank you for your question. And of course, you mentioned Steve Witkoff, someone who holds the American administration's orders for the Middle East, and of course, that would include the Israel and Gaza conflict. Mr. Witkoff did visit the strip in which Hamas had said he had done wrong. Instead of visiting such a decimated area, he should have provided aid. And of course, you know, there's a naval blockade of Gaza ever since 2007, if I'm not wrong. But using the same person to negotiate a deal between Russia and Ukraine and of course America, how much will that be successful is a matter of question. According to various media houses, we know that Benjamin Netanyahu is on the path of a conquest of the Gaza Strip. What he means by conquest is still far too early to understand, but it definitely involves a military takeover of the Strip. And of course, there's 60,000 plus casualties as well. But as far as the Russian escalation in Ukraine is concerned, we initially started this program and we reported saying that 20% of the Ukrainian territories are now under the siege of Russia military as well. But right now that number seems to be growing every day. And this war, it's a modern day usage of weapons that we also see. Drone warfare, we've seen even last week, a military centrifuge was caught into a big explosion from a drone strike as well. So these are the things that are happening on a daily basis. How much dialogue and diplomacy shall prevail in this matter is still a waiting game, especially that in September there is the UN General Assembly as well.
How do you see this psychological game? Is it putting the entire world into danger and to some extent into Third World War?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kanchan, for your statement. Of course, we would actively try to avoid such a scenario like a World War III. But as we look at the news and as we analyze on our station almost every day, we understand that such military posturing does set off the entire globe in a shock. Definitely having nuclear submarines positioned at Russia and with Russia's dead hand system, which let me elaborate, it is unmanned trigger point in which if the Russian mainland were ever to be attacked, it would not require human intervention. It would initially engage in any kind of retaliatory measures. So, given the volatility of the situation currently, I would only see that dialogue should be prevalent before everything else. But if a war does break out, of course, the ramifications shall be implemented not only with the two countries that are engaging in such activities, but also the entire globe.